All right, it works. All right, so I just wanted to kind of bring us all together since we all have teams of our own so that we could just kind of keep it informal and really laid back and low key and more of like a discussion and mastermind and brainstorm with just different things that like I've been doing, and then you guys can share too, like different things that you've been doing to try to get exposure over there in the UK and to be able to start to form new relationships and build our teams since we're going to be launching over there next month. And some of you guys might not seriously realize how huge this is. Seriously, I mean, I've been doing this now for 3 years, and this literally is like the biggest opportunity for coaches in the network right now. Like, this is the best time to become a coach. And if for some reason, you've plateaued, and even for new coaches, I mean, this is such a tremendous opportunity for growth, for you to be able to help more people, for you to be able to help your team help more people, sign more people up, be able to earn, an income, an even greater income than what you're doing now, and to build your teams and to take it now internationally over to the UK. I mean, I am really, really fired up about this. So you guys can share some of the things that you've been doing, and I'll kind of just start out by just sharing some of the things that I've been doing over time. So every day when I go to sit down to do my power hours, a huge chunk of my time now is not so much building relationships on, just like people from the US on Facebook and on Instagram, but it's more so now I probably spend a good 45 minutes to an hour a day building relationships and finding people over in the UK now. And so I've started to form a list. I've been connecting with people. Specifically, what's been working for me is on Instagram. So I've been working off of Instagram a lot and really going on there and searching for like hashtags for different things over in the UK. I wrote down a bunch of different things, like anything, and think outside of the box too. Like, don't just think about like London. Like, I've been looking at other different towns that are in the UK, because since we're launching over there, most coaches are just gonna immediately go to London and what's in London. So I've been looking at like different areas that are over there that's not specifically London, and I've been looking for different like restaurants and different coffee shops and different gyms, and I've been Googling them and finding the names of them, and then I've been actually searching for them in Instagram. And so what I do is, when I go from there, people who live in that area who go to, for example, that gym, are hashtagging that gym. So I will start to follow them. I'll write their name down like in my notebook. I will look at what they're posting. I'm really trying to go for people who are already used to using stories, because not for nothing, but that's the way this business is going now these days. It's just not the same as it used to be when I first started 3 years ago. 3 years ago, you could get away with just the messaging and the inviting just behind the scenes like that. And now I'm finding more and more that I'm having more success, and the other coaches in the network too who are having the most success are doing it because they are using stories on Facebook and Instagram, and they're building relationships that way. So I'm looking, and I'm trying to look for coaches who want to come onto this team from the UK, who are already used to using social media, who are already used to doing the Instagram stories, and they're used to posting. I'm looking for people who have at least 350 followers, who are posting regularly. I'm specifically going for those kinds of people. So I'll write in the search bar, I'll hashtag those different places, and I'll just start out by just sending them messages. Like, I'll just send people just messages, not about Beachbody or about, getting into our group next week or anything. I haven't done that yet so much, only to a few people. It's more about just me building relationships with people. So it's really not too much different from what we've been doing and what we've been teaching everybody to do on Facebook with getting to know people and building relationships. It's just trying to now target those people from the UK, so that way you can build your team. So what I've been doing is, so I've been finding someone who like looks like they'd be an awesome coach, and I've been finding a ton of bloggers, which is really good. And then what I'll do is I will go to their followers and I'll scroll through their followers. So I kind of find myself going down these little paths of, all right, I find someone who looks awesome. I'll comment on their photo, or I'll even comment and ask them a question on their stories. I found that if I go to their story and I ask them a question, then they'll write back to me, or I'll give them a compliment or something like that. So I'll do that first, and then I will write their name down, and I'll look at their followers. And again, I'll scroll through their followers, and I'll look and see like who's into health and fitness, who's on social media all the time, who's using stories, and I'll kind of just repeat that activity. And I'll do that for like an hour every single day. Preferably, like I said, messaging and commenting on their stories that they had, so that way they respond back to me. Let's see, I've been reaching out to some people. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been reaching out to like bloggers and people who have been like really sharing some like awesome recipes. And like, you can just tell that they've been doing this for like a while. I'll get the conversation going and I'll ask them how long they've been blogging for. And they'll say, oh, like 4 years now. And I'll just tell them, hey, listen, I'm looking to feature some bloggers and some entrepreneurs, like really inspiring entrepreneurs on my blog. Would that be something that you'd be interested in? You know, or I could feature you. And I've been kind of getting the conversation going that way too. So that's another thing that I've been doing. I also have, for the group that we're doing on Monday, the informational group that's starting Monday, for the people who are in the UK who are looking to learn more about this, I did run a Facebook ad for that too. I wrote a whole post on my business page, and I put like a picture of like me with like the flag thing behind me. It was basically like the same cover photo, pretty similar to that. And I promoted that. And if you guys aren't like really Facebook ad savvy, if you just go to my YouTube page and you type in Facebook ads 101, Nick did a video a long time ago about how he runs these ads for me and how I target people. But I basically just targeted teachers and moms ages 28 to 40 who have kids ages 6 and under. That was kind of like my my little niche there. So I did run an ad for that too. Again, it's not to spam them and be like, hey, like you should be a coach. It's me being able to connect with and build more relationships with these people. So they're huge on the Beachbody programs. They've been doing them now for a long time. Like they specifically really love like Shaun T. So just finding a way, guys, to connect with them and really making sure that you're bringing this down to your teams. Like you really don't want to wait and miss this opportunity. I mean, people are going out there for the launch of this, for the launch party on October 21st over there. So you want to start building these relationships with people now so they can build that connection with you, versus if they go to the launch party, for example, next month and they meet another coach who's there, they're going to probably want to sign up with that person. So the work and the groundwork, you know, starts now. So that way when we launch over there, we'll be ready to go. Like I already know a lot of coaches in the network who already have a good like 10 to 15 people over there who have said yes, they're ready to sign up as soon as they launch over there. So my best recommendation is to make sure that you're connecting with these people every single day, creating a list, taking advantage of the group that's going to kick off on Monday for this, making sure you have a good solid amount of people in there, and then making sure that your team knows the importance of this. Because like I said, whether you're a brand new coach or if you've been doing this for a while and you've kind of felt like, you know, your business is getting a little stale and you've plateaued, this can change all of that and bring it to a whole new level as long as you take advantage of it and play it the right way. So I don't know if anybody else has anything that they want to share about things that they've been doing over there with maybe with your team. Jesse, you got something?
Yeah, it's I just want to caution you guys. I work with people in the UK. That's my job. Like my team members are in the UK. They're from there. They're all lovely people. Much different in their approach to how forward we are as Americans. You will scare the hell out of them if you just go right for it. Yep. Not everybody, but the majority of them. I have to write whatever my email message is, for example, for something, and this is at my full-time job. I have to write my message the way I would normally write it to like my American counterparts. And then I have to go back in and add fluff. Yeah. Basically soften the whole message up, because they get, they feel like we're blunt and they can misinterpret things as bitchy very, very easily.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
There's people that I know that I've been talking to now. I know them personally, and I've been talking to them. I have to be very careful because I, got to be careful about how I mix the two. I've been talking to them for months,
Yeah.
and it so
Yeah.
just not to scare you away from messaging, just change the entire way you do it.
Yeah.
It's basically like the way you message them.
Right. Like they really do want like friendship and trust. Like I have a friend who I went to high school with, and we used to run together, and we were really good friends in high school, and she's been living over there now for the past 10 years. So I've been talking to her a lot, and she said something very similar to that, as well as my neighbor across the street, her whole family lives over there as well too. And I have another, close friend that I've known my whole life whose family lives over there too. And she was saying the same thing. You gotta be willing to kind of really take that time to build the relationship with them. It's definitely more like laid back and building trust and building the foundation for a friendship before you actually let them know about this. And because they will get like scared off, like Jesse said, but
English
do
have a
know
harder time with this.
ask for referrals and stuff. Like I've been asking those people, like, do you guys know anybody over there who would love to be a part of this or whatever? And you can ask for referrals that way too. What were you going to say, Jesse? Sorry, I think I cut you off.
I was just going to say, I think New Englanders have a harder time with
Yeah.
that than pretty much any other area of the country, because
Yeah.
we're fast and jerky in general. So,
Mhm. Exactly. We're like, I know me. I'm like fast, bold, to the point. Don't beat around the bush. But that's not going to blow over too well with the people in the UK. So you're just going to be willing to take your time. So, does anybody want to share anything about what they've been doing? Have you guys been taking advantage of this and have been, spending some time out of your day, on Instagram? Specifically, honestly, Instagram I seriously think that that's like the big thing, the next big thing. Like I really do. I know I built my business off of Facebook, but I seriously feel like Instagram is where it's at. I think that there is still a lot of potential on Facebook, but I don't know. I'm finding more and more times that I'm having much more success with Instagram, and specifically those stories. So just teaching again, like it's so important, like whenever we get any kind of information that helps us out, that we bring it back to our teams and that we really just kind of rephrase it and bring it down to them and, stress the importance of getting people to kind of come out of their shell and get them to use Instagram stories and teaching them, make sure that they're going on there and they're searching hashtags and not just like, your typical like, UK Fit Fam, you got to think outside the box because 400,000 other coaches that are out there are going to be hashtagging those exact same things. I know I am a part of some groups on Facebook too that are UK related. So I've been in there too, just kind of commenting and posting different things and starting to build relationships with people that way. So I do have a list of, a lot of people here that I've been talking to, like 2 pages worth at least that I've been talking to and building relationships with in my notebook, that I will go on to probably on Friday and let them know about this group that we have kicking off on Monday. So does anybody have anything that they want to share? I just don't want this thing to launch and then, you're going to be like behind the ball. You know what I mean? Like this is like our time to get in like right at the beginning when this thing goes live right away and already have an awesome solid foundation of people that we've been talking to and building that relationship with. And this is how you're going to build your team. Because I know sometimes it's easy to kind of get stuck in your own little circle of, how you're bringing on people, you're recruiting people from the same area, but you got to branch out. That's how you really make it big in this business, is expanding your network and really branching out. So this is going to really do it for us, guys, when we go over there. So was that helpful? Does anybody have anything that they want to share with what they've been doing that's been working for them?
I'll share just a couple like technical things, and I don't know if it's working for me necessarily yet, but I've been using that Grids app on my computer. You heard about that?
Yeah.
Do you know about that? No. So it's an app you can get on your computer, and what it does is it shows you a grid of all the people you're following. So you can go through and click, like, whatever, and then comment, but it's so much quicker than doing it on your phone, and you can message from there. That's where I was like hung up. I could not handle messaging on my phone all the time. It drove me nuts. But now you can do it right on your computer.
And this is for specifically Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't use it. I was using something else though before.
I'll do a little screenshot.
Yeah, do a screenshot. I was doing something before. It was
Okay.
called like, maybe it was like BlueStacks or something like that. It was pretty similar to that. I could pull it up on my computer and I could actually comment and like and message from the computer. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Okay.
I just got a new computer that's changed my life. I'm not kidding.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is. It's been awesome.
What did you get? Because I'm going to throw mine out the window.
I just got I got an HP. It's a touch screen, but the screen is big, that's what I needed because I was using a laptop all the time. You need to go to bed. And my other laptop took a shit. So
Oh.
Get a new one. Darn it. Okay. Do you see it?
Yep.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. So you can see you see my mouse up here too?
Yep.
Damn, this is cool.
This is cool.
All right, it is. So anyway, so these are all people I'm following, right? And then, I mean, it goes on forever.
Yeah.
But I can, let's see. So you can just like away, right? But you can also comment. And if you're following them, which let's see, you can comment like that. And then, where is it? No. Oh, here it is.
Oh, was that it? Write a message? I think I just saw it at the bottom.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I saw it at the bottom.
I've been doing it here. You can do it on the side. There's a little like inbox over there.
Okay.
I don't know that. Let me see.
Yeah, I thought I saw something at the bottom there. When you clicked the arrow over there at the very bottom, was this write a message?
Write a message there. Oh God, I didn't know you could. I was doing it over here in the Dropbox. But anyway, look, there's Kristen.
There she is.
Yeah, so it's way easier.
That is so much
easier. The only thing about it that is kind of a glitch, I feel, is that sometimes when I send a message, it takes, like, it doesn't show up that I sent it right away.
Yep.
And so when I go back to check, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't show that my message posted, but in fact it did, because then I look on my phone and it did. So that's like there's a little time lapse there, but you can see all the stories up here, you know?
Awesome. I like that. I'll have to start using that.
I dig it. It did cost $8.
That's okay.
It was not free.
Worth it. I mean, honestly, that's the thing.
Totally.
That's the thing about this business. Like, you have to be willing to spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you don't really want to, in order to help you like really grow with it, you have to give before you can get.
Yeah. Will you talk some more about your virtual assistant or whatever you call that person?
Oh, the person I hired to help me? Yeah.
And what do they do exactly? Like, what?
Do you mean the one that I sent you a message about earlier today with, do you want me to stop screen sharing this thing?
Yeah, okay, sorry.
How do I do that?
Sorry.
Or do you mean the assistant for like everything like regarding the team? No.
Well, that's Nick, right?
No, Nick doesn't. Nick hasn't done anything in this business in probably a good like 8 months.
Right. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. What about the one that you were talking about for Instagram today?
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I just signed up. So before, guys, I was using Instagress, right? And it was going through, and that's how it grew my following up to like almost 13,000, followers in a really quick amount of time. And I was getting really good followers. And I mean, there were some weird ones in there, but I mean, overall, I was getting like really good quality people. And, it'll go through, it'll automatically comment for you and follow people who, you put in the certain hashtags that you want to follow and all that jazz. but it did F up every now and then. Like somebody would post a picture of like a death and it'd be like, that's so awesome or something. Oh my God, that's so bad. But they got rid of that. And now all the other automated ones that they have, I've been hearing that they've been like banning your accounts if you use those. And I'm just not willing to risk that. So what we had been researching, it's called, let me just, hold on a minute. Let me just pull up my email really quickly, just because I just want to make sure that I'm telling you the right thing. So you can see. And I'm just trying it out just to see how it goes. All right, let me just see. I'm just checking. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So it's called Instagram Wildfire. All right. So let me just open up this thing again right here. So yeah, it's called igwildfire.com. And the cheapest that you can do it for is $50 a month. Okay. I'm just trying it to see, but you get assigned a real marketing person who has been trained in this, and this is like their job. And you literally do like phone calls with this person and meetings with this person, and you tell them exactly what you want them to do. So I have like my first call set up for next week, but to get it started, you basically tell them what you want them to help you with. So I was specifically hiring her so that she could be the one who goes and helps me try to find people specifically, like the most important thing are the people in the UK. So that's like her focus. Her focus is also to go and do all that tedious stuff, like the commenting on the photos, liking the photos, you know, finding more followers and following more people who look like my tribe, that kind of thing, because all that stuff, to do it manually takes a lot of time. And it's just really hard to do Facebook and that. It's kind of almost like you have to pick one or the other. But I really want to take advantage of Instagram because I really seriously think that's where it's at, to be honest, to be truthfully honest. So we hired her actually just like last night. And that's where we're started. So she logs into my account. I actually changed my password though. I gave her like a totally different password for it. And she goes on and she'll go through and do all these different things for me and basically do what Instagram did, but a real person. So you're not going to get that weird comment on like the death photo. You know what I mean? And I can tell her exactly like what I want her to say, who I want her to target, and who my niche is, and who I'm trying to bring on to the team so that she can look for that stuff. That's what she does. And like, I'm just seeing how it goes for the first month or two for $50 a month. And I'll go from there. I mean, if I can get one person signed up a month, then it's worth it. Then it's worth it for me to pay that. So I'm kind of going to go from there. And if it's awesome, then I'll double it or whatever, triple it, whatever. It's freaking worth it. But it is worth it if you can have some help. Like you need some help in the business, you know? Nick has stopped doing everything. His work is just way too busy for the past 10 months. Like he hasn't been able to do anything. So that's why I've had to have like an assistant do it, because as you grow, especially like you guys know, when your team gets bigger, you can get really preoccupied planning groups, planning challenge groups, reinventing challenge groups, reinventing trainings, posting leaderboards, changing the cover photos, designing cover photos, that like all of a sudden your shift is no longer like the vital behaviors, and it's just all this other tedious shit for the business. Do you know what I mean? Like it's important stuff, but when you nail it down, it's not what's going to grow your business. And I mean, I need help with that stuff. I can't do it all. Time is limited. So I highly recommend. I did this stuff for way too long on my own. And that's probably the biggest mistake that I could have made, was just doing too much myself for too long. And I should have delegated stuff a long time ago, and I didn't. So that's something I learned from Shalene. I wanted to like get to a certain point and have a certain amount of money in the bank and be squared away before I actually did these things. But you have to give some to get to that level. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that helped. I'm sure there's other things that you can do. But I think the most important thing to take away is to just make sure that you're on there, on Instagram specifically, finding new people over there in the UK that you can start to develop relationships with. Like it's way more important that you're doing that than trying to build relationships with people in the US right now. Like I feel like more of your time should be spent there. I don't know if that helped. Any other questions or maybe things that you've been doing? I just wanted to keep it kind of short and to the point. It's coming up. It's coming up in 1 month from now. So just make sure that your team is on board, your team knows, and that come Monday, you have people in the group so they can learn more about this. That is the key to the next level in your business. And I'm pumped. I mean, all it takes, guys, is a couple, 1, maybe 2 awesome active coaches from over there, and it's like blown away. It'll be awesome. It's seriously so awesome. And they already love the program, so. All right, any other questions or anything like that before I let you guys go? I think I covered everything. Just make sure you're building relationships. I think that's the most important thing I wanted to see. Commenting on the stories, asking them a question so that they respond is way better than just commenting and just saying like, oh, like I love that, blah. I found that asking them a question, like they respond, then you can keep the conversation going. That's been really working for me. I have like 8 conversations right now just from last night going back and forth from just questions that I've been asking people. And like I said, I'm being picky with who I'm going for. I'm not just trying to find any random person from the UK. Like I'm really looking for somebody specific. I'm looking for people who have, like I said, those minimum 350 followers. They're on Instagram, so they're used to using social media every day. They're using stories because that's the next big thing. I mean, that is the secret sauce to really freaking booming this thing to the next level. And so those are the things that I'm looking for. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, I'll let you guys go. Tomorrow night, we're doing, just so you guys know, I changed up what I was going to be doing for the team call. Our team and me and Dana's team, we're going to be doing a joint live power hour. It's not going to be recorded. I forgot to post that last week when I did one, but they can't be recorded because we're doing the, we do music and stuff like that. Plus, I just feel like, I mean, if you can't be there for the live power hour, you know you're not going to listen to it later. But we're going to be doing that tomorrow night, and she's going to be focusing more on Facebook, and I'm going to be focusing more on Instagram. So that's at 8:30 tomorrow. So make sure that your teams know about that, because honestly, when I look at the team as a whole, I think that's where people are struggling, is the behind the scenes, having conversations, like how do you talk to people? How do you follow up? How do you invite? Oh, I'm hearing some background noise. I was like, is that my dog? And I think that's seriously the piece that people need, and that people need to see firsthand, is just how exactly do you build a relationship? Like, what do you say? How do you follow up? How long do you wait? How many times do you follow up? How do you add to your network? Things like that. So make sure to get on and get your team on, because it's going to benefit everybody. All righty. Well, thanks guys for being on. Getting ready to rock it out. You're welcome. Thanks for hopping on, and stay tuned because we got some changes coming that I will be letting you guys know about. All right. See you guys later. Bye.